Sirens whined, lights flashing in the dark of the night. As they rushed into the ER, nurses tried to stop the blood gushing from the young girl's wrists. It was another suicide attempt. As someone who wants to work in the mental health field, I know that a lot of times therapists can deal with suicidal patients or patients who have had a recent suicide attempt. As someone who has struggled with mental health in the past, I feel like this is a good opportunity for me to get to help someone who has maybe been in a position that I have been through and gotten through and made it to the other side alive and better off for it. There are a lot of different areas that a mental health worker or a therapist can go into. One of the areas is working in schools, kindergarten through 12th grade, helping people get adjusted to a new school, helping with bullying issues, home issues that are affecting their school life, things of that nature. There's also rehab facilities, both substance abuse and just even physical rehab facilities. Another area is behavior disorder facilities. As someone who has struggled with an eating disorder in the past, I have been to one of those facilities and had a therapist kind of walk me through getting better and recovering from my eating disorder. So there are a lot of different areas. Government agencies are really a big part of providing jobs for therapists. The lady that I interviewed, her name is Catherine Lichty, and she actually was my previous therapist when I lived in Alexandria, Minnesota. And what she recommended for me was to get a degree in social work and then minor in psychology and then go on to get my master's degree. She said if you just get 4 years of psychology, you're not going to be able to find a job in that. Typically, you would have to go on to get your master's or your PhD, which is a lot of schooling. Catherine currently works at Crossroads Counseling Center, and it's her dream job. She is pretty much the only therapist there. She basically works for herself, which she loves. She said, the client to paperwork ratio is usually for every 6 hours of one-to-one patients. She has 3 hours of paperwork, which isn't actually that bad. Some jobs are worse than that. So I think that's actually a pretty legitimate ratio. It's not too much or not too little. She said, what incentive she had was her going through past stuff in her past made her want to get into this and be able to make a difference in someone else's life. And I feel like for me as well, that's another thing that is a strong pull for me in this field. The average wage made here is $55,000. The average cost for 4 years of a bachelor and 2 years of a master is about $50,000 in school costs. However, if you do get a degree in social work, there are government programs that actually will help you pay back your student loans as an incentive. So that's another benefit to this working in this field, is that the government does help you pay back your loans. And I really feel the desire to help, to give back what's been given to me, to give back the help that's been given to me, to be able to make a difference in someone else's life is a really big pull for me, and to learn to be selfless. That's what life is all about, being selfless and getting to help other people, and maybe even just stopping that one less siren in the night, going to try to save someone's life from a suicide attempt. If I just can help one person, my life is fulfilled.